Hey boys and girls, for math today, we're going to do some more counting activities to help you continue to learn about 100s, 10s, and 1s. So on my table, you'll see a 10 frame, and in each square, I have a little tiny square. So we have a total of 10. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to rearrange them a little bit. Okay, what do you notice about what I did here? These are the individual ones all lined up. And this is a tens piece. So those 10 ones together equal that 10 piece. Now, if one of these itty bitty squares fit into our blown up 10 frame here, just like that, how many 10 pieces do you think would fit? You might be thinking, well, I see 10 big boxes. And if every box is the same size, and if I fit that in like so, maybe 10 would fit into a square? Well, then ask yourself, how many units, this is a unit, how many total would be in this entire 10 frame, this entire rectangle? Let's count by tens as I set up one 10 strip in each of the boxes. Ready? You count at home. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's stop for a moment. How many 10 strips do we have on our mat so far? Well, there's 10, right? There's 5 on top for a total of 50, and 5 on the bottom for a total of 50. I'm going to pause it and rearrange. Okay, I took all 10 of those individual 10 pieces and I put them all side by side in one of these squares. How many did we say there were total when they were spread out? That's right, there was 100. And there is still 100 just in that one square. And I do happen to have something that looks just like that all together. This is 100. So let's take a look at the ones piece again. If we put one of those in the box to begin with, and we are trying to guess how many would fit, now do we know how many individual units or one pieces fits in just one of these boxes? 100 of these. Now my next question is, how many individual units will there be on the entire 10 frame when it's all filled? You can write down your guess, use what you know, and then I will pause and rearrange. Okay, so I traded these 10 pieces for the 100 piece, and I laid them all over our 10 frame. So, what are we going to count by? Hundreds, that's right. So let's go ahead and count, and we'll figure out the total number of units. Some of you might already know. Here we go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're at 1,000. All right, now that we know what 1,000 looks like on my 10 frame mat, I have a question. Do you think that there could possibly be 1,000 cubes in my Unifix cube container? What if we had made a train of 10? Would that be easier for us to guess? Here's a train of 10 like we did earlier in the year. We connected them together. Now if we have that visual, does that help us estimate how many there are in the pile? I wonder if we made a benchmark of 100. If we put these trains together, let's do that. Get my handy dandy trains here, and let's count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Look at that. They fit perfectly. There's 100. Now that we know that's what 100 Unifix cubes looks like, almost the same size as the tiles from earlier. Now that we know that that's what 100 looks like, could there possibly be close to 1,000 in here? Which of those benchmarks would be more helpful? The ones, tens, or the 100 in trying to estimate the total number of cubes here? Maybe you think tens, maybe you think 100s. Now, we're going to figure out how many we have in all. If you were in the class, we're going to do this like we did yesterday. You're going to get a basket of cubes. You're going to work together to make the trains and figure it out. And then we'll fill out a Counting Cubes record sheet. For you at home, we're going to do it together right now and fill out that paper together. Okay, with your team or individually at home, we're going to do this together. In your basket, you're going to take a look and you're going to record on your Counting Cubes record sheet your estimation. Estimate how many cubes are in your container and write your guess right here. I think there are blank cubes in the container. What do you think? I'm going to say 154. 154, that's my guess. This is for my friends at home. If you're watching in class, we can just keep going. Now, how many cubes were there in your container? Write the answer in 4 different ways, and we're going to talk about that together. So, as a team, you're going to work together to put your cubes in 10 trains, and then figure out how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones. And we'll write the actual number. All right? For my friends at home, you're going to count with me, and we'll write this down on your own paper. My friends in class, you're going to go off into your group and do this together. All right, here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40. I already put them together into trains. Oops. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There's our set of 100. And let's keep going. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Ooh, I was close. There's still more in the basket though. 160, 170, 171, 172, 173. That's how many was in the basket. 173. To write that number in words, we have to write it out. 100 73. Oops. There it is in word form. What this means, hundreds, tens, and ones, is how many of each. So for our number, how many hundreds do we have? 1. So we're going to write 100. How many tens do we have? There are 7. So I'll write 7 tens. And then how many ones? There are 3. So 3 ones. 100, 7 tens, 3 ones. Okay, here's a big word for you, or big phrase. Expanded notation. Say that. Expanded notation is basically what the equation is, like we practiced in Number Corner. We're going to add those numbers together. We're going to add this, this, and this. So 100 plus, what's the 10? 7 tens is 70. 100 plus 70 plus 3. That's what expanded notation means. Now that you've added up, let's pretend we added up all the different baskets around the classroom. So we had 6 different teams working together to figure out their number. Here was ours. We had 173. Let's say in our virtual class that all the other kids had that many. Now, think about the total here. Do you think that the total of Unifix cubes will be less than 1,000, more than 1,000, or exactly 1,000? And why do you think that? If you were at home trying to figure out if that total amount was less than, more than, or equal to 1,000, perhaps you started counting how many hundreds there were. You can go back and do that if you didn't already. How many hundreds are there? And would you have to group it into 1,000? How many tens were there? And how many ones? And so on. Now, I went ahead with our virtual class, and I didn't have the total number of Unifix cubes, so we're going to just change it up here. Take a look at the total amount from our virtual class. I came back to our 10 frame here. Here are our hundreds, our tens, and our leftover ones. Can you tell just by looking at this amount if it's more than, less than, or exactly 1,000? You might say, well, the whole board isn't filled up, so it must be less than 1,000 because when we counted earlier, that was a total of 1,000. And you'd be right. Let's just check. Count by 100s with me. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Count on by tens. 610, 620, 630, 631, 632, 633, 634. So we would write that as 634 is less than 1,000. Now the numbers on the board definitely were greater than that, but I just ran out of time and Unifix cubes. Okay, now what's assigned to you in Seesaw and in person is the comparing and fact family practice page, you will see these little squares like the Unifix cubes and count them out by hundreds, tens, and ones, just like we did. You'll write the number and compare. Show the sign, whether it's greater than, less than, or equal. Down here, you need to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. And on the back is something new. You're going to match a Unifix train to its fact family triangle. So that is new. For example, this train here matches this triangle because there are 13 total. The number on the top is the total number of cubes. So I counted, there were 13. 4 of them were shaded or black. 9 of them were white. So that is the fact family triangle. Underneath the Unifix train, you're going to write 2 addition and 2 subtraction sentences to match. Look at the example to help you. 4 plus 9 equals 13, and then they flipped it. 9 plus 4 equals 13. When you subtract, you start with the total. 13 minus 4 equals 9. 13 minus 9 equals 4. So, do these 4, find the total, match it to the remaining triangles, and write your equations. Good luck, stretch that brain, work hard. I'm proud of you. See you later.